Okay, here's the synthesizer. This is dates from late 80s or so. This is a Korg DW8000, and it is what's called an analog synthesizer. Now, technically, it's a digitally controlled analog, but let's just go with analog, keep things simple. The whole thing about synthesis is you're creating sound from scratch. In this case, in analog synthesis, you're taking the electricity that's coming out of the wall, and that's causing some circuits to do things with electricity and then shooting it out to the speakers. And usually in synthesis you have sound sources, in this case oscillators. And this keyboard has a bunch of waveforms. You can see here 1 through 16. And then you have a whole bunch of stuff you can do to it. You can change octaves. You see you've got two oscillators, OSC1 and OSC2. And then VCF is filters. And that VCF-EG part is changing how it changes over sound. Changes how the filter changes over time. And the VCA is how the volume changes over time. And then you've got some special effects, digital delay and aftertouch and whatnot. So what happens here is you call up a different patch. Call up a different patch, and all the parameters are changed. Or 44. So what's happening is all those parameters, calling it up into memory, and it's just changing the sound. But it's recalculating, not really recalculating because it's not digital, but it's changing the circuitry. So if I go in and change the waveform, you know, right now it's at number 7, so I change the waveform to 16. Take it back to number 7. And number 1. And this one actually has two oscillators running, so let's change both of them. All I did was change the waveform. Everything else stayed the same, but you can tell hopefully it's a completely different sound. If I wanted to change the VCA, so for example, we'll call up parameter 41 and change the attack, make that longer. What I did is changed the attack time so that it takes longer to crank up to maximum volume. But that's the thing about synthesis, is it gives you a lot of control over what you can do. Now, the other type of keyboard you'll see are sample playbacks. Now, this is technically a sample playback. It's a Roland RD700SX. And what you do with a sample playback, you've already experienced sampling. Anytime you record something with your cell phone, you're sampling. Or you're listening to a CD, that is a sample performance. A sample is a digital recording of an audio event. For example, I'm sampling the audio here. The audio is going into the webcam mic, and the computer's recording it, sampling it. But that's basically what sampling is a digital recording. So what you'll do in sampling is you'll record one note on an acoustic piano and then drop it into the memory here, and then you'll have it play that particular file a little faster, a little faster. If you wanted to get really accurate, you would have a sample for this note and a sample for this note and this one, etc., for all 88 keys. And the better keyboards do that. And then there's a ton of other little technical things you do. But the other thing you'll do is have one sample for soft, and one sample for medium, and one sample for loud. And I can call up a different patch and demonstrate that. Jazz Scat. This is take 6 doing this. There it goes. So listen to this. If I play it soft, if I play it medium, play it really hard. So you've got 3 different samples here. One that plays when you play it soft, one that plays when you play it medium, one that plays when you play it hard. So you can do stuff like. So that's what sampling is about. And then you've also got all sorts of different parameters, synth parameters really you can do. Let's see if I can get this. Change the reverb, change the chorus, change what effect you're going. These are just all, and there's your attack release cutoff, just like on that keyboard. I changed the attack. So that's a hardware synth, and I'm actually right now I've got a second keyboard, and this one's a blend of sample playback and synth. But this is hardware synthesis. You can also do it in software, and that's the next part of the video.